Welcome to Real Life Recaps. Please like, comment, and subscribe.
We hope you liked today's stories. This first story was posted by Throw R.A. Newbie Doobie. My husband, 53 male, wants me 44 female to pay for upgrades on a house I have no financial claim to. I'm not in the will. How do I respond? My husband, 53. Male and I, 44 female, have been married for 3 years together, for 5. When we got married, I sold my house just broke even after realtor fees because I'd only owned it 3 years and moved into his house that he owns free and clear. We did sign a prenup before getting married, very simple, and just agreeing that real estate assets, financial assets, and debts before marriage stay that way in the event of divorce. And then, I suppose we didn't have a thorough enough discussion about household contribution expectations, though. I was of the understanding that I'd move in, and we'd just split the household expenses and carry on. Wrong. He expected that I would move in and start paying all the bills because I'm saving money not having a mortgage. I'm not sure what that has to do with anything because he doesn't have a mortgage either, which I bring up every time we have this discussion. Doesn't compute with me at all. Because I still had to close on my house and pay some final bills there after I moved in with him, I didn't start paying anything at his house until my house matters were all final, so his unilateral financial decision about bills didn't come to a head until several months afterward. Anyway, I complied to avoid any argument, and I transferred the bills into my name and started paying them. That's all been fine for the last few years. I work full-time in a professional position. I pay the utilities, trash, internet, combined car insurance, cable TV, combined cell phones, about half of the groceries, the property taxes, they're low. All of that is still less than my mortgage and bills were. So I do come out ahead, if you compare past to present. I believe this is an irrelevant comparison, though. We kind of split entertainment and eating out, but I do believe I pay more there than he usually does. I also cook, clean, and do some outdoor chores like gardening, weeding, cleaning the pool, and I've mowed the lawn. Once. My husband is retired and gets a little retirement income of about $2,000 each month. He spends it around the property on upgrades and repairs, on groceries, gas, some of our entertainment, and lots of stupid, in my opinion, stuff for himself entertainment and shopping. He does some cooking, cleaning, and the majority of the outdoor chores. We have children from previous marriages, but they're grown and gone. We still have separate bank accounts and finances. The bills are all in my name, though, besides the property taxes, so I just pay them each month like I did when I was by myself. So here's the problem. It has come up a couple of times recently that he wants me to pay for half of any house upgrades and repairs, like rotten siding, HVAC cleaning, new toilet, minor roof repair, paint, materials to repair a water leak. Basically anything you would buy at the hardware store. He thinks I should pay for half of. He does the repairs himself, so there's no labor costs. I told him I really don't think it's any of my responsibility to pay for upgrades to a house I have no financial interest in or claim to. To me, paying all the bills frees up his income to then pay for any upgrades he wants to do. This relationship goes sideways, and I just have to walk away with nothing except the household goods I came with, and maybe some furniture and appliances I bought over the last 3 years, you know? He says everyone has to pay the same bills in life, and he doesn't understand why I always bring that up when he asks me to pay for other stuff with the house. In his mind, those bills don't count because everyone has them. He even called me a gold digger, and he wasn't looking in the mirror when he said it. He's genuinely upset that I don't want to contribute to house repairs. I feel like I already contribute way more than my fair share. I believe we should be splitting all the bills, and he should still pay for house upgrades until I've earned a spot in the will. He says things are going to change, or I can just leave. I really do fail to see things from his perspective. How should I respond when he brings this up again? This whole thing is so bizarre and Twilight Zone to me. Let's take a look at the comments. From a hero to Idolize says, he says things are going to change or I can just leave. Tell him that's a great idea and leave. LOL. But seriously, I think you paying all bills and property taxes is crazy. He acts like a marriage isn't meant to be helpful. All of this rubs me the wrong way. And Baby Brooke at 421 says, if I'm understanding, she also works full-time. And does the majority of the work in the house? No, ma'am. OP replied, rubs me the wrong way too because it's such a baffling conversation to keep having. That's why I took it to social media to get feedback outside my bubble. Thanks for your comment. And Disastrous Airline 28 says, it's baffling because you're trying to find a logical reason for him demanding all this. But it's not logical, it's not reasonable or fair. It's not because he's confused or you're misunderstanding him. It's because he's selfish, greedy, and lacks empathy for your perspective. But you don't want to accept that a man you married is all these things, so you're confused, OP replied. Yes! And Betelgeuse says, rules for thee and not for me. Now on to our next story from Powerful Warthog 888. Is it worth it to get into another long-distance relationship after a long-distance breakup? 20 female, 27 male. Hi all, just need some advice on my current situation. In late May, my boyfriend 20 male broke up with me, 20 female. We had been dating for 4.5 years, through high school and half of college. I honestly moved on super quickly. It wasn't a great relationship. When he broke up with me, I had just started an internship in a new state, and I quickly became close with my coworker, a 27 male who had also recently 6 months ago gone through a breakup from a long-term relationship. We bonded over this and became super close. Fast forward to now, we have been spending all day together at work, and I stay over at his place almost every night after work. It's been this way for close to 2 months now. We do everything a couple would do, but we're not dating. He took me out for my birthday dinner. We cuddled, talked about our fears, absolutely everything. I leave my internship in 2 weeks to go back to college, and he obviously is staying here to continue working. I am absolutely infatuated with him. He is everything I have ever wanted in a partner, and I feel like we click so well. I know he feels the same way, and I want to talk to him about maybe trying to turn this into a relationship. I'm just worried due to the 7-year age gap, which hasn't been a problem thus far, and getting into another long-distance relationship, which was the breaking point of both of our past relationships. If the distance matters, I'm moving back to Tennessee, which is 8 hours away from where we're at right now. I'm just wondering what people from an outside perspective might think of this. If it's a good thing I should just leave in my past, or take the risk on what feels right. This story was posted by Throwaway Account 1. Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter that she's ruining her life? I am a 49 female recently got into an argument with my 19-year-old daughter about the way she's living her life. Now, she lives on her own, pays her own bills, apparently has a job and a social life. She could definitely be doing much worse, but unfortunately, her living situation does not end there. Since she moved out, we have talked about how she spends her days and lives her life. Apparently, most nights when she's not out with friends, she's getting wine drunk by herself alone in her apartment. I apparently thought it was funny. I did not agree. And the nights when she is out, she's also getting drunk, only much more so, and with her friends. She didn't get into the university she wanted, so she's taking a gap year. She didn't study nearly as much as she should have, and from what I've understood, she doesn't have any intention to put in any more work the next time around. It doesn't even end unhealthy habits. Last winter, she was detained by the police while on a night out because she and her friends had been fighting with the staff at a nightclub. Before that, in the autumn of 2023, she'd been found guilty of petty fraud. She gave false info to the Social Security Agency to get more money. I confronted her about the way she lives her life. A few days ago, while I was delivering a cake I had baked for her birthday, I told her that she needs to get her life together, stop drinking excessively often, getting into pointless petty legal troubles, try to get a hold of her life so she could actually make something of herself, make a better life for herself than what my husband and I have. To stop ruining the potential she has, stop sabotaging her own life before she ruins it, and it's too late. She got surprisingly angry at me, telling me I have no business telling her anything since she's an adult who lives on her own, pays her own bills, and lives her own life according to her terms. She told me that if I wanted her to live her life in better ways, my husband and I should have given her a better life. She's mostly referring to financial status as my husband, and I are lower middle class. Not poor, just lower middle. I tried explaining that we are just worried about her and want her to utilize her potential that she so clearly has. She didn't care and simply told me to leave her apartment, and we haven't spoken since. TLDR. My 19F daughter got angry at me after I confronted her on her hazardous and unhealthy lifestyle and told her that she has to stop ruining her own life. Drinking, legal troubles, not studying enough. She told me that I don't have any business to meddle in her life since she's an independent adult. And now on to the comments. Spicy Bunny Meat says, she's going to need to learn the hard way, and you're going to have to watch it happen. Be there for her, if or when she shows up asking for help, but be prepared with some requirements she must follow. I'm sorry. It's so hard as a parent to watch your child make decisions you know are wrong. Not the a-hole, Janine18 says. Not the a-hole! It's normal that you're worried about her. You are her mother. Of course, it's up to her to decide what to do. She must understand that some things should not be done, because it could be something bad and which will only be harmful. But it's a pity that she doesn't understand this. By doing this, she makes things worse for herself, Barbara's Bush said. I learned the hard way. I'll be 32 next month, and I'm still cleaning up messes I made in my early 20s. Once I'd figured out everything that my mum said was right, I crapped bricks at the sight of my uncontrolled fire of a life. When I look back at 22-year-old me, I honestly have no explanation for my self-destruction. Maybe I was scared or mad. Maybe both. I was also raw-dogging a clinical depression diagnosis compounded with anxiety and ADHD, so that didn't help at all. Once I'd made sure I'd alienated everyone I cared about, I only had myself to contend with, and I did not like it. My mum didn't get her hands off. She would just verbally observe what I did without obvious judgment. She would encourage me to be healthy, not tell me that drinking half my weight in beer was going to give me cirrhosis of the liver. That she loved me instead of asking why I spent my rent money on 5 pairs of shoes. Maybe OP's daughter would benefit later from crashing and burning with help, of course. Sometimes we just cannot see what's best for us. I'd later encourage her to see a therapist or join a craft group she can use as an outlet and to enjoy getting out without the alcohol. Not the a-hole. Good luck, OP. Remember to be nice to yourself too. Moms like you are in seriously short supply. Daughters like us need mothers like you. What do you think about these stories? What kind of advice would you give the OPs in these stories? Please let me know in the comments below. And remember, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do so if you like these stories. Thank you and have an awesome day.